Be honest. How many times are you going to hit snooze on your life? How many times are you going to hit snooze on your goals, your dreams, your purpose, your obligations, your responsibility, your discipline? How often are you going to hit snooze? People want to wake up early, right? People want to be determined. People want to have goals. People want to have success in life, but keep hitting snooze. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next time, whenever the next opportunity comes and stuff like that. But imagine that God hits pause on you. God said, you know what? I'm going to stop all my blessings. I'm going to stop all my mercy. I'm going to stop all my grace just for a moment in time. I'm going to turn my head just for a moment in time. I'm going to stop watching over this person just for a moment in time. That moment in time could be hell to pay for the rest of your life. That moment in time could be the thing that broke you down in order for you to get back up. That could be the time whenever your life is lost, and then now you done lost everything you had, including yourself. But you are choosing now that God is blessing you, that God has a purpose for you, that God has direction for you, that God has a path for you, and you still are choosing to hit snooze. You are still choosing to hit pause on your life. You are still choosing to oversleep. You are still choosing to make those decisions that are not leading to success, but are probably leading to your downfall. You have to understand that God didn't put us here to waste time. God didn't put us here to be lazy or to procrastinate or do anything like that. God put us here to chase purpose, to chase the things that he wants us to chase, to have, right? He put us here to create a relationship with him. He put us here to not even want the best for ourselves, but for him to want the best for us and for us to live that out. But we still are choosing to hit snooze. We still choose to go towards sin rather than to be saved, to be redeemed. We still choose to run away from responsibility rather than run to it. You think that you're waiting on God, but God is just waiting on you to finally get up, to finally be aware, to finally take the blindfold off and wake yourself up, right? You have to be mindful, right? Because in the book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 and 16, it says, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Grace is something that should be an alarm for you. Grace is something that should be enough to wake you up each and every day. You think an alarm clock is waking you up? That's wrong. You think you waking yourself up? That's wrong. If you think anything else is waking you up but God, then you need to be in your word more. You need to pray more. You need more for yourself. You probably need to start believing not just in yourself anymore. You need to stop believing in everything else. You need to stop believing in social media. You need to stop believing in your mom and dad. You need to stop believing in your friends and stuff like that. You need to start believing in yourself more. You need to start believing in Christ even more, especially if you want to chase anything in life. I've learned that if I want to chase anything in life, I got to believe in myself, but I definitely got to believe in God even more, because God is going to make a way out of no way. God had Abraham believe that God had Abraham believing that he was too old, right? But Abraham knew that God could do things, right? Abraham knew that with the faith that he had, that even though he might be 100 years old, that things can still happen for him. That's why God counted him as righteous. It wasn't because of the things that he was doing or anything like that, things that he was saying, praying about. It was because he had faith. But faith is what's going to get you up in the morning. Hope is what's going to get you up in the morning, right? But if you don't have that, if you don't have if you don't have faith, if you don't have morals, if you don't have responsibilities, then you're going to stay in bed. You're never going to chase your purpose. You're never going to have that sense of urgency ever in life. But be honest with yourself. How often are you hitting snooze? How often are you telling yourself, I'm going to put my life on pause? Over and over and over again, day after day after day. But it said it right there in the word. Take every opportunity. Take it and make the most of it. Because you don't know whenever it's over. You don't know when your life is over. You don't know when it's all gone and it's all said and done. Because it's not whenever it's done when you say it is. It's whenever God says it's done. That's when it's done. That's when your life is over. That's when all that stuff comes to an end. It's when God says it is. So it doesn't matter if your husband or your wife says it's over. It doesn't matter if your friend says it's over. It doesn't matter if your boss says it's over. It doesn't matter if your pastor says it's over. It doesn't matter if your teacher says it's over. God is the last one. God is the beginning and the end. And he knows that it is never the end until he says it, until he knows, until he makes it happen. So don't be the person to keep snoozing and keep putting your life on pause when you have every opportunity to make it play. You have every opportunity to fast forward it. You have every opportunity to skip to the next level. But it's not until you realize that. It's not until you stop hitting pause and you stop hitting snooze and you start doing the right things each and every day. Yeah, you're going to make mistakes. Yeah, you're going to slip up. Yeah, you're going to miss the mark because you're human. But be mindful of this. Just because you are human, you were still made in the image of God, fearfully in the uniqueness of the Lord. So be mindful about that, man. Take the day for what it is and move on and keep going each and every day. God bless y'all, bruh. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe on the channel. Definitely check out the link tree that's in the bio, bruh. I appreciate y'all for catching me on this one. Remember, don't hit snooze. Don't pause yourself. Get up each and every day. Be thankful, show gratitude, and hit play. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.